is up? What is up? This is George Cortright coming back again with another mad week. Once again, shit in this world is fucking crazy. Shit in this world is still crazy. So crazy, I even forgot to fucking pull the numbers for COVID-19 tracking. But some states, including my state, which is Arizona, is spiking in shit, and people are still out and about hooting and hollering, trying to have a good old time. I am not in the studio alone. I'm here with my sister behind the controls. Yeah, she a little rusty. She ain't been on for a while. She a little rusty. Once again, I got my sister behind the controls.
I'm trying to.
Camera 1 on the FX. No, camera 2 on the FX.
See,
there you go.
I'm not the only one that's rusty. Hey.
Yeah, you just rusty. You all rusty.
I am.
But anyways, it's all good. We here. Like I said, it's still craziness going on. There's protests, riots. The riots have seemed to subside. Everything seems more peaceful now when it comes to the protests. But shit is still out of control. For the most part, what I'm going to be talking about is still aftermath from all the shit that's been taking place. I've been with you in a couple weeks, and people have been saying some stupid shit, getting in trouble, and one would think that without all this shit that's happening from this George Floyd situation, that people would just I get it now. I get it. We shouldn't be stupid and doing dumb shit. I'm talking about cops. I'm talking about random white people. I'm talking about black people saying stupid shit. Well, as you're going to find out in today's episode of Mad Week, that's not quite the case. But first, I'm actually setting this up like this is a real fucking show. First, let me tell you what's been going on. Yes, it is. It's something we like to do. What have I been up to? What have you been up to, George? Well, I'm still treating this shit like I'm in quarantine. I'm still not trying to get that COVID-19. I ain't trying to get that. Plus, I don't mind staying in. I'm cool as a motherfucker, just staying in, trying to find different things. One thing I did do, I did go out a couple weekends ago. Went and tried going down to Tucson to the Tank Verde Falls. I've seen different pictures or whatever where people go down. You see the little waterfall and whatnot. So went down a couple weekends ago. Did a little hike. It's a little bit of hike to get to it.
I would have went.
Got down to that motherfucker. Ain't no water in this motherfucker. I guess I ain't do my research that Arizona is a got mostly desert, but there's certain times where you can go and see this waterfall. There was a couple puddles of just old moldy ass water, but I think I saw some murder hornets. I think I actually saw murder hornets in the flesh. That's not a good thing, but it was just stank ass, a couple puddles, no falls. My timing was horrible. I didn't do my research. So that's one thing I did. And since then, do the falls right, went to the petting zoo. I actually was going to put some pictures on from the petting zoo, but I fucking forgot. I absolutely forgot. Saw they had donkey. They had some fucking goat, some little.
They had donkey and they had goat.
They had donkey, goat, deer. They had some stingrays. They had the rabbits were on vacation. They said because it's too hot for rabbits right now. Parakeets and lollipops or some shit. some shit I never heard of. Lalakeets, but anyways, they give you this like this little plastic container with some like sweet nectar in it or whatever, and you just hold it out in your hand, and you're like in this little shed or whatever. Well, it's bigger than just a shed, but this bird housing. You hold the cup with the top on it. Mind you, they said don't take the top off. You hold the cup out with the top. They fucking fly onto your arm. Use their beak to flip the fucking top off and start taking the shit out of the stuff. Wow. So that was a decent experience. Never been to that. Oh, and it was ostriches. There was a whole shitload of ostriches at this fucking petting zoo. It's pretty cool. It's between Phoenix and Tucson. Went to there, had a good time. A couple weekends ago, I don't know why this made my list, but I had Taco Bell twice in one weekend.
I see why you don't do Taco Bell like that.
Well, I try not to do any bad shit.
Taco Bell twice?
What? I convinced myself that Taco Bell is healthy.
How?
Because first of all, some people say it ain't real meat.
Ain't?
Some people say that.
It's not.
Then why'd you ask if it ain't?
No, keep going.
All right, it's meat, lettuce, vegetables. If there's tomatoes or whatever. The only bad thing is the shell, which is made out of corn, right?
I guess.
So that's my theory on Taco Bell. Taco Bell. But if you go to the burger spots, you're gonna have a burger with bread. The bread is too many carbs. The French fries fried in fucking oil and shit, and the big time carbs. So
it just depends on what restaurant you go to. You can get a salad.
Man, ain't nobody getting no goddamn Wendy's salad. That bullshit ass Wendy ass salad. Oh, speaking of Taco Bell, let's just jump in that real quick. After Donald Trump is a big ass turd. That's what the fuck I'm gonna call him right now. Donald Trump is a turd. Put turd ass Donald Trump. Look at him, turd. But with all this shit going on with protests and the George Floyd and all that stuff, he's still sticking to his, like, just being a mean ass. And it just seems like he really doesn't like black people.
He don't.
And I didn't understand this prior to him getting elected.
He's
and
racist.
I was similar to Dave Chappelle when he went on Saturday Night Live and said, hey, we got to give him a chance and all that stuff. I used to watch Celebrity Apprentice, so I watched him and it didn't seem like he was racist. But when he got into office, he's just been doing nothing but trying to separate the whole country. And it's bullshit. So he's just one after another. When he called the NFL players sons of bitches if they knelt, and just still this bullshit today. But I found out that, it's an election year and all that stuff. There's still some companies that are supporting Donald Trump, backing his funding up and donating to his campaign. So I want to throw these companies out there. And this is before my weekend with Taco Bell. But one of the companies is Taco Bell. Taco Bell Pizza.
I was thinking about going to Taco Bell too.
Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and your Wendy's.
What I saw, Wendy said, don't put them in the same same categories.
From my research gave more than $200,000 to Trump re-election campaign. Wow. So this ain't the old shit. This is still after all the shit that he's been doing. They still gave him money. More companies include Bubblegum Shrimp and Joe's Crab Shack.
Really?
Joe's Crab. Bubblegum. Named after a black dude. Named after a black dude, right? But still. Estee Lauder.
Oh, wow.
Home Depot. Ooh. CVS. Yeah, CVS.
Ooh, his mom
Yeah, I talked to her about it. Las Vegas Sands, they're not as big as they used to. They're not one of the bigger ones like MGM or what's this shit? The Caesars.
Yeah.
But they still their main their main one is the Venetian. So Las Vegas Sands, Venetian. Unfortunate. Facebook, IG, WhatsApp, Spotify, Lyft, Airbnb. Some of them I'm not going to be able to avoid. I'm going to try to avoid a lot of them, but some of them I'm not going to be able to avoid.
No way to. Some of them is like really.
And the one that hurts the most,
What?
Is Marvel.
Ooh.
Yes, Marvel. And even after I found that out, I still, I'm going off script right now. I went out, and this is going to be the first time that you've seen it, but I was talking with my roommate, and when we started talking, we can start at the letter A in the alphabet and end with is oranges really orange? So we can go from one thing to another. Somehow we were talking about Marvel, and he was telling me, did you hear about the hip hop covers that Marvel did? I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So this happened a while ago, but Marvel Comics pretty much used some of their like comic book characters and recreated the CD covers of popular hip hop CDs. And I was like, what? So went through online and just checked them all out, and instead of like going and buying all the comics, which there's a shitload, there's this book, actually 2 volumes of the book, which shows you all of the covers that they did. And I went on Amazon and bought it. Bought both of them.
Because I want to take some of the picture.
Yes. So it's pretty fucking cool. Like one of the ones is Iron Man.
That is dope.
And that's the 50 Cent cover right there.
That is dope.
But yeah, it shows a lot of what they did. This is Ms. Marvel, and this is the Education of Lauryn Hill CD.
That is dope.
Yeah, but there's two different ones. You can see the whole Nas,
I see the
Nas
one,
game.
The one in the corner.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Yes.
Chronic. Wu-Tang. Yep.
Oh, that's yes. I'm going to tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was one thing that I purchased. But unfortunately, Marvel supported Trump in his campaign, re-election campaign. Let's get back to me. What else have I been doing?
What have you been doing?
Put up a TV for my mom. Well, swapped a TV. Had to take down the TV that they watch. Take down the bracket that it's on.
TV?
She still ain't told you?
No.
Oh.
It shows you just how much. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
just sleep there.
Yeah, I told her to ask.
I just sleep there.
I told her to ask if you were able to notice, but the TV that they watch the most in the back room or whatever went from 50 inches to 55 inches. So I swapped the TVs in the room. So and obviously it's not that noticeable. But anyways, that's something I did. Me and my sister last weekend went and saw Nate Jackson. Nate Jackson, funny ass dude. I first got introduced to Nate Jackson by watching the Corey Holcomb 5150 show. And he was always just funny on there and just talented because you can tell they can sing as well. So last year I went to him when he came to the town for first time I saw him in person was last year when he came to town. He was nice enough to take a picture and was cool with it, bought a shirt and all that stuff. And then I saw that I follow him on Instagram and he was coming back to town. So, hey, might as well go see him again. So show the picture again. Took my sister. This is the first time seeing him. And what'd you think of him?
Oh, he was funny.
He was hilarious.
He was funny. I had a ball. It was nice. It was a nice little COVID interruption.
Oh, yes. Speaking of COVID interruptions, not only was it a COVID interruption, but it was also during curfew.
Yes.
So this show actually took place at 5:30. It was the first one out of 2 that day. So went to the 5:30 show, and including me and my sister, there were 15 people in the crowd.
It was nice, though.
It was nice because there was social distancing. You ain't had to worry about mofo possibly coughing on you from behind. Like, what? No, everybody was spread out for the most part. The comics were still hilarious. Even the people that, like, opened up for... like that. The girl wasn't that funny.
Yeah, she was alright.
But the 2 dudes before him were pretty good. It was nice.
The host was nice.
Yeah, the host was cool.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say everything I know about that host, but the host was cool. Hopefully, I can get him on the show one day.
I heard you say I forgot to send you the picture because I had a picture with him.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe next time. All right. What else? Oh, and might as well just go ahead and talk about something. No. I'll come back to what the fuck I've been watching for anybody that wants to know new shit to watch or whatever.
Need stuff because some people are still locked in their houses.
Some people are still locked in, but
by choice.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that. So let's go ahead and get to some of this news stuff. I'll save that. Save the BS. I'll save the BS. Remind me about the BS.
I'll remind you about the BS.
All right. But all the shit's BS, by the way.
Yeah,
but
a lot of it.
But this is more BS. Actually, it's BS that you brought to me. My sister, my sister bringing me bullshit.
Hey,
but anyways,
do it to me, so hey,
that's all right.
Returning the favor.
That's all right. So one of the things I want to talk about is the CrossFit CEO, Greg Glassman. He stuck his foot in this motherfucking Twitter ass mouth. Look at him. Looking all stupid. Stupid ass motherfucker. All right. CEO Greg Glassman sent out a tweet mocking George Floyd's death and Black Lives Matter on June 6th. His tweet was in response to the Institute for Health Matrix and Evaluations post, which deemed racism is a public health issue. So this official site, Institute for Health Matrix, put out a post stating that racism is a public health issue. Greg, put his picture up again. Greg, punk ass Greg, responded, "It's Floyd 19."
Whoa.
And then he put out another tweet that really wasn't necessary or appropriate at this time, and just pretty much doubled down on some bullshit. I didn't want to put the whole post, what he put, but it was absolutely bullshit. He received backlash immediately. Because it was just insensitive. And a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about and that's been happening aren't from people who I would even consider racist. It's not. I'm not saying what you're doing shows that you're racist, but it just shows that you're insensitive to what the fuck is going on. I'm not going to say that you sit here and you hate black people, but you're not fucking looking at what's going on and realizing something needs to be done to help out.
You don't care.
You don't care.
Affect you. A lot of this stuff, if it doesn't affect
it's selfish.
You, it's selfish. It doesn't affect you personally. You don't have anything to do. It's okay. It's not that bad until something hits you.
Unless it affects you
personally, you know somebody that all of a sudden they come in and look, this is just what, my God, that happened to you?
Exactly.
And
that doesn't make you racist. You're just insensitive. You're selfish. You don't care. You have a lack of caring, inconsiderate, and all that stuff.
No empathy.
No empathy. So I'll say that. But then again, Greg Glassman could be a racist as well. But I'm not saying he is.
That's true.
But I'm just saying, like, for instance, Drew Brees. We'll get to that.
What George can do?
Greg.
He
can eat a bag of dicks. Greg can definitely eat a whole big ass bag of dicks.
Greg can have a bag of dicks.
But after Greg went and did his Trump Twitter thing, Reebok said they will be ending its affiliation after their contract. Reebok stated that due to, it's the CEOs talk and doing that shit, they didn't want to upset some. They didn't want to be associated, but they want to continue with the games or whatever for some of the athletes that are already there. They didn't want to just discard this whole thing. But after the contract, they're going to be done with CrossFit. Over 300 gyms that use the CrossFit name for branding situations. It said they're no longer going to be affiliated with CrossFit. And some of even the one that I used to go to, officially, I'm not going anymore. I found out that I have enough motivation that I can fucking go. The reason I started CrossFit was because I was just sitting around like, man, whatever. So I started CrossFit, so I have to pay that money. And if I pay money, I'm getting my goddamn money's worth. So I started going, and it was cool. It taught me some new things. It got me into a rhythm, and I'm in that rhythm. I don't need to pay that schmaggity to keep going. I can do it myself. But anyways, that's actually how I found out about this situation. I still follow the place I went to CrossFit on Instagram, and the franchisee, the owner or whatever, put out an apology statement on their own. So there's people out there that give a fuck. They care. They see the shit and fucking jump in front of it and try to talk about it. The CEO himself was just inconsiderate and stupid. So over 300 gyms decide they're not gonna affiliate themselves with the company. And I already seen one of the, I think it was Rocket CrossFit. They changed their name to Rocket Community Fitness. Oh wow! So that's CF. Yeah. If everybody just used the CF and turned it to Community Fitness, bang, fuck CrossFit. Yeah. So of course Greg, punk ass Greg, who can eat some dicks, he apologized, but then recently he resigned on Tuesday.
Bye, Greg.
Yeah, with Greg's punk ass. It's rumored that he stated on an affiliated gym owners conference call, "We're not mourning for George Floyd. I don't think any of my staff are." Wow. That's what he said that on the conference call.
So, still, you're going to say things that's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the racistness. Underlying racist.
Yeah. It's like, what? Whatever.
Wow.
But another person who got some immediate backlash was, like I said, Drew Brees. Because on interview, he said he'll never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America. And this
again shows he has no idea,
no sympathy, and out of that shit happened 2017. Exactly. So in 3 years, and still with this shit, you still didn't learn that the kneeling wasn't about the absolute the flag and the person that the Colin Kaepernick like consulted with to do this was a troop, was a soldier, and people are still not understanding.
My thing is, so now Drew Brees is gonna have a very interesting. Yeah, I showed his
I'm talking about you. When you talk.
I'm sorry. It's gonna be a very interesting season for Drew because I feel that a lot of his teammates and other NFL players took to heart some of these words that he said, and his coverage and his hits is gonna be a little bit more.
His coverage isn't gonna change. The defense is gonna go stronger. But if it's your job, your job as a lineman to stop the franchise quarterback from getting hit, because that's what you're gonna do. And plus, you're on a team sport. They're gonna. Obviously, they already talked to Drew Brees because he apologized several times. You're going to talk to him and just get to a place where you're able to work with him, and then you're still going to do your best. You're not going to let down that team just because Drew Brees said something stupid. And once again, I don't really think Drew Brees is a racist. He was just being inconsiderate and insensitive to the matters that's going on around him. His teammate Malcolm Jenkins absolutely went on, I think, online on social media and just went off and was in tears because this is somebody he works with and look up to him. He's a vet, like one of the greatest quarterbacks, top 50 quarterbacks. He's very good. He holds some records and shit, and it's gonna keep adding on to those records.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but for that statement, Drew can
eat a bag of dicks. Once again, Brees later made 2 public apologies, and your boy and not mine, old Trump's punk ass had to chime in. Put up his Trump's picture. Keep it up. I never tried doing a Trump impression, have I?
No.
Oh, fuck. I am a big fan of Drew Brees. I think he's truly one of the greatest quarterbacks, but he should not have taken back his original stance on honoring our magnificent American flag. Old Glory is to be revered, cherished, and flow high. That's punk-ass Trump. That was a horrible impression, by the way.
I know, but I should have, not only that, but you should have, I should have used this for Trump.
Nah, he ain't just a bag of dicks. He's way more than that.
That's true.
But to Trump's response, Brees stated that he now realizes this isn't about the flag. So it took 3 years and a shitload of his teammates calling him fuck out. That's what it took. But like I said, I don't think Drew Brees is a racist. He was insensitive, and once again, it was about his own focus. That I love the flag. It's about the flag. Flag. It's not about I hate black people. He's done so much for the New Orleans community and all that stuff. He has teammates and all that stuff. But it's just the focus that you're looking at this and not wondering about somebody just got killed. They're talking about the protest was about police brutality, and this shit just happened, and then you had to go and just talk about what the fuck what you want to see. It ain't about you, dog. It ain't about you. It's about the bullshit that's going on in America right now. Alright, and more bullshit comes from Jake Fromm, another quarterback in the NFL. But Jake Fromm just got picked up. He just became a quarterback. He is a rookie. He just got drafted in 2020 by the Buffalo Bills from the Georgia Bulldogs, University of Georgia. Well, this is some hater ass shit by whoever the fuck did it though. In 2019, he sent a comment in a text to a girl. So he's talking to some chick, made some comments. This year, a couple weeks ago, that chick released those texts.
Oh, that's petty.
Yeah, that's petty. Nonetheless, what he said was bullshit, but goddamn, what the fuck? Why would she do that? But anyways, what Jake Fromm said is that, what is it? There's Jake Fromm. Guns should be made more expensive so only elite white people can buy them. That was the gist of his text. But he said, yeah, guns should be made more expensive so that elite white people are the ones that's able to buy them. And
that's just an ignorant comment.
That's just a fucking stupid, ignorant ass comment. And of course, he made his apology and all that shit.
I mean, certain things you gotta. Okay. You have to realize certain things. You're young. You're stupid. But I'm just. You make it in anything. Anything you done said, anything you done did is gonna come back and haunt you.
Absolutely. Anything. Especially now.
Yes.
Yeah, the young people now should know that. So many texts and tweets and social media posts are coming back on people. It's like, if you think you might have said something that might have hurt somebody, you better go back and delete it now. Go back and delete it.
Like the president and don't give a fuck.
And don't give a fuck, so we know to stay away from your punk ass from here on out. But not everything that's surrounded in Buffalo is bad, even though this ain't one of my stories, but that old white dude getting pushed down by the cops.
Yeah, that was
if y'all probably saw that. That's not one of my stories,
but
what
the one cop trying to help him up, and the cop
no, it was the same one, and
that was just wrong.
it was bullshit. If you don't know about that, go online and look at the video of the cops pushing down old white dude, and he ends up bleeding and all that stuff. Some of these, I was talking to somebody and I was telling, it's not about white and black all the time. It's about white, black, and then there's blue. Some of these, I might have said that on my last show. All right, so I was talking to you. That's who I was talking to. I was talking to you, who I was talking to, because some of these, even black cops, are just taking power to the extremes and doing stupid shit. But back to Buffalo. And then I'll come back to some cops still doing stupid shit. That's my segue. This Buffalo teen, Antonio Gwynn Jr., spent 10 hours cleaning up the streets of Buffalo by himself. This is June 1st after damaging protests to Bailey Avenue. I think it's Bailey Avenue. So there's Antonio Gwynn Jr., He started at 2 a.m. Monday morning because protests happened the night before, and he saw on the news that, they're messing up this street. And he was like, hey, people are going to need to still go to work in the morning, so I'm just going to take to the street and start cleaning up. So he started at 2 a.m. Monday morning. When an organized group of neighbors arrived later that morning to start cleaning, they found that Antonio had already done most of the fucking work.
Wow.
That is fucking crazy. Show Antonio again. Yeah. This brother just took to the streets. And this is why I fucking get pissed off with racists. It's not about the color of your skin. It's about the content of your character, as Martin Luther King Jr. said. There's good and bad on every color, everywhere, all the fucking time. This man had the compassion in his heart to fuck. He didn't. That ain't his street. At least that I know of. He might not fucking give a fuck about that street, but he knew other people would need to use it. So this high school senior went to the streets and did most of that shit himself. And guess what? Sometimes people get rewarded as due. Well, when people found out, this man, I forgot to put his name. Actually, I didn't forget. I just chose not to. But he saw what Antonio did and ended up giving Antonio a car. This is a 2004 Mustang. I read that the guy was trying to, it was hard for him to part with it. So he just delayed trying to sell it because it just meant something to him. And then when this happened, he was like, you know what? That's what I do. I know it. Yeah, I give it to him because he needs it, and I feel good about giving it. I feel good about parting with it that way.
Who he's giving it to? Somebody that's actually
that's somebody that actually needs it. Turns out that is the same type of car that Antonio's mom used to drive. Aww. Antonio's mom passed away.
Aww.
So that is crazy how shit just goes around. The dude that gave it to him said it gave him goosebumps when he found that out. By the way, Antonio's an 18-year-old high school senior. I think. Oh, did I say that? I don't know after that. All right, but anyways, after news spread, Antonio received a 2004 Mustang as a gift. Not only that, local businessman gave Antonio 1 year free auto insurance.
Good deal.
That's not it for Antonio,
wow.
though. He got a full scholarship to Madeline College because his plan was to go to trade school or some shit and just rack up money in order for him to go to college. In the meantime, this college ended up giving him a full scholarship.
Good deal.
And Antonio's just a good person. He's not new to helping others. He's a member of Kappa Phi, where he enjoys doing community service and helping churches.
All right.
So, the show's a mad week, but we got to give credit where credit is due. Because I know my ass ain't going out cleaning no street unless it's community service because I fucked up somewhere. Alright, man, they got street sweepers. Alright, man, I don't need to go to that street. I'm quarantined. I work from home right now. I ain't cleaning up no goddamn street. So good job, Antonio.
Good job, Antonio.
Speaking of streets, I was gonna put this at the end, but you know what? Let's talk about this was fucking crazy to me. Black Lives Matter street. Black Lives Matter got painted on the street leading up to the White House. That is cool as fuck. DC Mayor Muriel Bowser allowed for a Black Lives Matter mural to be painted on the street up to the White House. This is officially Black Lives Matter Plaza. As you can see. This is Black Lives Matter Plaza now. And not only is it large, you can see it, but you can see it from the satellite.
That's dope.
I think I put a satellite picture on there.
No.
Oh. Alright, but anyways, you can see this from the satellite. So, that's dope. So,
see that one.
yeah, that's cool. That's real cool, man. I'm sure people are still bitching about all lives matter and all this shit. It's like we know that's not the fucking point at this fucking juncture, man. If you don't get it, you ain't gonna get it, and you just want to, once again, you're selfish, insensitive, and just full of shit right now. All right, sensitive, insensitive. Bullshit. Let's see. All right, well, let's go over to NASCAR. Well, they realized how insensitive they've been throughout the years, and they decided, hey, we're going to prohibit the use of the Confederate flag at all our tracks and events.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Obviously, the Confederate flag represents the Southern way of things from prior to the Civil War, and pretty much the use of slaves, racism, and all that stuff. So for it to still have been used, not only by NASCAR, but it's still being used in the South and flown in the South, is bullshit. But NASCAR went ahead and prohibit the use of the Confederate flag at all of its tracks.
What if somebody brings it in? They can't bring them in.
It's prohibited. Oh shit! Bubba Wallace. I put Bubba Wallace was one of the people who campaigned to do this. He is biracial. His dad is white. His mama is black, and he is a driver for NASCAR. And not only is he a driver for NASCAR, he is going to be using a BLM, Black Lives Matter car. Bang.
Ooh.
That looks dope. That looks pretty fucking dope. So that's cool. Hopefully, I really hadn't known of him. But then again, I don't know too much about NASCAR. But you still have heard of like Dale Earnhardt, just because just different names. You've heard of them because of popularity. Hopefully, Bubba Watson gets more popular and does big things. One person who does not like that NASCAR did this is Ray Ciccarelli. Look at him. Ray Ciccarelli says this is his last season with NASCAR due to the change.
Really? You just that racist that you gonna quit? Well, you can't fly your flag.
It's not about race though. What he says, I don't believe in kneeling during the anthem nor taking people's right to fly whatever flag they love.
Wow.
Come on. Yeah, that bullshit.
He wants you to let your freak flag fly.
Let your Confederate flag fly. No, I don't condone that. It's just straight up bullshit. Yeah, but he isn't even a driver in the regular like cars or whatever. He's in like the NASCAR like semi type shit where he drives a truck in their the little NASCAR truck league or whatever the fuck it's called. I put little effort into figuring out who and where that shit is. Like, whatever. Ray, you stupid. Ray, eat a bag of dicks. Eat a bag of dicks, Ray. Eat a bag of dicks. All right.
Oh, I found the satellite.
Oh, so the satellite picture of Black Lives Matter.
Oh, that
right
is
there.
Dope.
Yeah. You can see it in the middle over to the left. And then you can see the White House to the right there.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That is, oh man.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that is dope. Oh man.
So like I said, I hope Bubba Watson ends up doing well. Just because the times and all that shit. Well, one of my extras is, and I know y'all heard me talk about Harold Varner in the golf scene. Black golfer Harold Varner.
Yes.
Well, the first PGA tournament event started on Thursday. Harold Varner, after 2 rounds, was number 1.
Uh-oh. Go, Harold.
Harold ain't won an event in his whole career.
Wow.
But he's leading. And another thing that I learned about that I haven't been watching them. I ain't putting no money on it, so yeah, whatever. But another thing that I thought was pretty fucking cool is, due to weather and then time zones and getting all these golfers to be on the course and getting through it, you start early.
Right.
Well, at 8:46 every day they have a moment of silence. 8:46 is the amount of time Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck. So at 8:46, they have a moment of silence, and that's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. But Harold Varner, hopefully you finish out number 1. But after two rounds, he was tied at number one. And dude,
Harold.
dude, he wear like Jordans for his golf shoes.
Oh, cool.
Because Jordan makes like Jordan is into golf, so the different like different seasons of Jordans, they just put and turn it into a golf shoe. That's what he wears.
Cool.
Yeah. So go ahead, Harold. All right. Since we're on sports, back to sports. The restart of the NBA league is coming up. Yeah, there's no pictures on this, but I just want to run through this real quick. Restart of the league is on July 31st. Training camp starts July 7th. They will be doing all of their games, including postseason, in Orlando at the Orlando Wide World of Sports. Only 22 teams. There's 8 playoff each conference on the eight playoff teams. And 6 within 6 games of the 8th spot. So the people who are in the top 8 of each conference automatically were going to be doing the rest of the season. And then any team that was within 6 games of that last 8th spot was invited to finish the season for a possible spot at the playoffs. They used... the way they did the whole 6 games from 8th spot is they used historical late season playoff runs as a factor. If remaining 200... another thing. Ooh, this was interesting. If remaining 259 games had been canceled, players were facing $645 million lost salary. So if they wouldn't have brought it back, $645 million in lost salary. Adding the 88 games reduced it by $300 million. So there's still $345 million lost in salary, but it's not the whole $645 million. Game 7 of the NBA playoffs will be no later than Monday, October 12th. There's 3 separate arenas for games. Daily uniform testing for everyone in the bubble. Play will not stop per positive test. 35 people per team allowed. They may leave the bubble on limited basis, including like just going out.
Conjugal visits.
Getting them hoes. Going golfing or something, but they're still going to be come back to the test, and you're going to have to be quarantined if you're test positive and all that stuff. Wow. The draft lottery is going to be August 25th. The actual draft is going to be October 15th. Free agency starts October 18. The 8 teams, instead of listing all the teams that made it, I'm listing the 8 teams that didn't make it. That didn't make it. The Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Golden State Warriors are not playing for nothing.
Oh, hush.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. They season was over back in March. So they gonna just be looking, oh, that looks fun. Too bad you ain't shit.
Like at home chilling like they was anyway.
All right. Did you hear about? I live in Phoenix. My sister lives in Phoenix. I didn't know that when I saw this on the social media that this happened in Phoenix until I saw my research. What? Well, that chick got slapped. Did you see that?
No.
Tamara Harrion went viral after telling a woman in a gas station to go back to your country. This happened last weekend, North Phoenix, the corner of like 7th Street and Greenway. She told this Latina-looking lady, go back to your country. The lady is like, I was born here. But the thing, just like last week when I had the Amy whatever.
Yeah.
They always they say that they're threatened, they're scared for their life, but they approach the person that they're supposedly scored.
You are threatened.
Yeah.
I'm threatened.
Karina Rodriguez is the person that slapped Tamara.
That's right, Karina.
So Tamara was telling Karina to go back to her country, and then went over and grabbed her by like the shoulder or arm or whatever. Karina turned her around and slapped the shit out of her. Just slapped the shit out.
Yes.
You didn't see this video?
No.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it on the Facebook Mad Week if you have not seen this.
No.
But this shit happened in Phoenix. So yeah, it happened at Shell in North Phoenix, 7th Street and Greenway. Posted on.
Okay, so but you walk up to this lady, threatening her in the first place, then you gonna touch her?
Yep. And turn around.
Touch me if you want to. Try and threaten me.
Yep.
Who is going to catch it?
Yep. She caught it all right. She caught it. This posted on Facebook and got like 20,000 shares, 12,000 reactions, 9,000 comments. Recently, her husband went on the Phoenix News and tells the news channel it was due to mental illness.
Yeah, she was crazy if she thought she was going to go up to that woman and not get the wrath on her.
He said his wife ain't usually like that. She was just she's just bad. She's not herself right now. And he was
stuck in the house too long.
She got cabin fever. Yeah. Nah, that ain't no excuse. But yeah, he was on the local Phoenix News crying, apologizing for her and all that stuff.
How did I miss this one?
What, Robert Harian? I got his picture. Robert Harian. Yeah. This is her husband. Oh, did you put Tamara Harian? Did you put it? You put the picture?
Oh, I see it now.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for it. All right, then.
All right, yeah. Oh. This is like after she got smacked. Bottom left is what she looks like. Let's go back to Robert. Now Robert Harian was on the news and crying and pleading that his wife ain't like that. But well, comes to find out he has a law firm in Glendale. His law firm went from 3 stars to 1. Prior to this incident, it was claimed that he had like 3 reviews. Afterwards, he had 1,300 negative reviews. So people went out there and just started giving them the business. People like this should be brought out to the open so they can be publicly shamed for bullshittery. Tamara, yes. What can she get, Ira?
This is what Tamara gets.
Tamara, get a bag of dicks. All right.
This is ridiculous.
No police were involved.
Oh, dude.
Street justice.
Why you gonna call the police? Because you were threatening this woman anyway. She defended herself. So, yeah, you deserve
Street justice. Street justice, man.
Wow.
All right. Now this is gonna be some bullshit as well. I don't think I have pictures on this on the 4th. And like I said at the beginning of the show, that one would think that, especially cops, why would you want any kind of smoke to come your way at any moment after this bullshit? It's like, hey, as a matter of fact, I ain't trying to be any kind of way or pick a side or anything, but once you, at this time, if you had any kind of hate in your heart for people of a different color, wouldn't that hate just like, let me chill on that shit for right now?
I have desk duty for a while.
I know I have a tendency. Let me sit at this desk for a while.
Let me stay inside, because if I go out there
I might be a story.
Yes.
Well, these motherfuckers didn't think that way. Tulsa police arrest a teenage black boy for jaywalking. Did you see this video? You didn't see this video either?
I'm trying to stay away from because all these videos are getting ridiculous for no apparent reason.
I'll post this on my Facebook as well. Body cam shows a cop approaching two teenagers that were walking in the middle of the side street. Side street, I tell you.
Yeah, it's a side street. So
that had no sidewalks. Pretty much, it was like walking
Georgia?
down the walking down the middle street of Booker Town.
Yeah.
You know, and then cops followed them. Second cop in a squad car approaches. Both teens got handcuffed, and one is thrown to the ground and held there with arms and knees. The cops used his knee on the fucking teen's back again. Why? For jaywalking. The ground kid was thrown in the car and arrested. The other was released.
So why do you arrest one and release the other then? If they're jaywalking.
All right, the one that was on the ground did have a mouth on him.
So?
Exactly. But he shouldn't have been in that position to begin with.
My thing is, if there's no sidewalks, where am I supposed to walk anyway? I'm making sure if I'm on the side of the road, you're not going to really see me, so I'm going to make sure I'm not going to get ran over.
Well, and this is no excuse at all. They were walking in the middle of the street.
So,
in the middle of the street.
So
I'm just saying that's what it is.
Okay.
So
like
there's no
down the side in the middle of the street, down your street right here.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't no harm, no fucking foul. There was that, and plus, jaywalking is something that you get a ticket for. You don't get arrested.
Or even a warning.
Even, especially, like I said, like, once you just, like, even if you was like, oh, yeah, they should get a ticket. Right now, let's just give them one. Hey, buddy, can you move to the side of the street? I know there's no sidewalk. Can you move to the side of the street or just walk, like, along the curb or whatever, instead of fucking being a dick and arresting these kids, these fucking kids. Of course, white cop, black teenagers, one of them gets fucking arrested. The one, like I said, had a mouth. Yeah, he was just vocal about why the fuck are you doing this to me?
Exactly.
You know, and he was just saying that you just want to see me fail, and he was saying that and all that stuff. Wow. It's similar to, I had a situation. I'm not always the stand-up person that you might have think.
You got a mouth on you too.
I got a mouth on me, but usually I don't let it fly. I'll go ahead and tell the story about, and I probably said this already, a time I was meeting some of my friends from college up to a concert festival. I was driving from Sioux Falls, South Dakota to the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin. I was almost 21. I was 1 month or 2 months away from being 21. I had a case of beer in my trunk. I got pulled over because, all right, so here's the story. I remember it
I get in trouble for your stories.
Oh, so vividly. I remember this story. It was dark out. They had already gone to the campsite, and I had to work late, so I told them I'd meet them there. I was going to make the 4 to 5 hour drive myself, meet them there. Somebody was going to ride back with me on the way back. But, so I got off work, went over, had a case of beer in my trunk, got off on the exit that it was probably about 20 miles to the campsite. Got off on the exit, stopped at this stoplight, saw a cop behind me, and this was like, all right, you know, I do have beer in the trunk, and, you know, once again, black man in America, so like, to do everything right, look both ways, and then I go, and immediately I remember it's a stop light, not a stop sign. So I go like the light wasn't even over. I just pulled on light. The cop didn't even turn on the light yet. I just pulled on over. I was like shit. Pulled on over. They ended up saying, "Hey," and this is before I knew all my rights and all that stuff. I'm still young. This is like I said, I'm 20. I don't know all the fucking rights. They're like, "Where are you going? You know, what are you doing?" And all this stuff. Let me see your ID. Like, all right, let me search your car. You know, like I didn't fucking know that you can tell a cop not like you can't do that.
Yes, you can tell cops.
I didn't fucking know that. I'm fucking young, and plus it's like it's a fucking cop. That was my thinking back then.
It's a cop.
It's a cop.
Most people's mentality.
Yeah. It's like cop. The cop tells me to do something. You're gonna do it. So opens up the trunk. Oh, is this yours? I was like, handcuffs me, puts me in the fucking squad car, takes me to fucking jail, takes the car, put it impound. So I gotta spend the night in jail because a minor in possession of alcohol. Not open container, but a minor in possession. So the next morning, wake up, do my little court hearing. The judge looks at my paper, is like, "Oh, wait a minute. You spent the night here?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You ran a red light?" I was like, "Yeah." "And minor in possession?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "These are 2 offenses that you don't get arrested for. Get out of here." So the judge was like, "What the fuck are you?
Why are you here?"
Like the jaywalking. This ain't something you get arrested for. Exactly. Why the fuck are they doing this? Mm-hmm. They did that. That's what Mom wanted to call the NAACP. It's just bullshit. But yeah, I've gotten into some shit like that before, but I wasn't mouthing off, and like I said, it was a cop, so I did what they said. I got arrested, and yeah, so I don't even know what happened after that. But yeah, bullshit happens. You know, a lot of black people have stories like that where they've been treated as a lesser person just because of their skin. Now this bullshit that happened with George Floyd is bringing that out to light even more so, even though there's been so many stories about unarmed black men dying at the hands of the cops.
Unarmed.
Yes.
And if they do have a firearm, they have a license for said firearm.
Right. That is correct. So back to this jaywalking one. The cops told an onlooking black man who questioned the arrest to leave, or he was going to be arrested too. To further this, Travis Yates, punk ass Travis Yates, who can also get a bag of dicks. He just went further. Mayor Travis Yates of Tulsa Police explained on a conservative radio talk show that systematic racism doesn't exist, and according to the police statistics, we're shooting African Americans about 24% less than we probably ought to be. Whoa. Based on the crimes committed. The wording that was chosen on that. The wording that was chosen on that is so fucked up. Yeah. 24% less than we probably ought to be. The shit is fucking crazy, man. Shit is fucking crazy. And then you got this bitch ass Candace Owens. Candace Owens, man, she can eat a truckload of dicks. She can just eat a truckload of dicks. She made it a point to go on her Facebook Live and just totally bash the character of George Floyd. Everybody has flaws. Once again, like I just told you my story, I'm flawed. I got flaws. Shit, I like to drink. Shit, I used to like to drink before I was 21. Shit, what? But people got flaws. And she made it a point to go on her Facebook and just tell all the flaws that George Floyd had.
He's
how he
not
was
a hero.
He's not a hero. The fact that he has been held up as a martyr sickens me. Was he really going to change things around? It's just not true. That's what she states. One of the things she states. But she goes and gives his arrest history, his criminal history. He talks about how he was had drugs in the system when he died and all that stuff. None of that matters. She doesn't understand that, but she just wanted to fucking bring him down and his bullshit. She doesn't see how this man is a fucking symbol of what changes need to happen in the United States. She decided she wanted to bring this fucker down for some fucking reason. She's a fucking dumbass. And it just sickens me. Show her fucking picture again, please. She, as a black woman,
it's scary.
It is scary that she wanted to bring this black man down. Why can't we look at him as a fucking hero? Because his law,
man that died for no reason.
Yes, his life was lost, and due to that life that was lost, this United States of America could possibly get better. That, to me, that's a fucking hero. He didn't have to fucking do it, but because of him, because of his life that's being that was lost, this fucking United States can fucking turn around to the fucking better. And yet you have the fucking audacity to go and fucking put effort to fucking villainize this man. It's fucking bullshit. Candace Owens, eat a truck full of dicks until you fucking choke. And guess who retweeted what she did? President Trump. Not only did President Trump retweet what she did, Vice President Pence invited her to the White House. Wow. So hooray for you, you fucking bag of dick eating Candace Owens.
Well, my thing is, when all this happened, the man that lives at Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
Because I think the best was the reporter that said, the person that occupies the residence behind me is the reporter, how he explained it. But yeah, this man has actually seen the bunker house. No other president has seen that bunker, but he camped out in that bunker when the world went kind of
went bonkers under his fucking under his term.
So I kind of think that, really, dude, you thought you were that afraid of your life that you had to go hide out in a bunker for what?
Oh, and he said he was just taking a tour of it. He didn't really need to go. He was just taking a tour. That's what he said.
He was scared.
Yeah.
This stuff is happening right down the street from him, right? And he can look out and see the fires. And they're coming for me.
Yeah,
no.
Dude.
He's a puss.
Just a bunch of bullshit. So I also want to... we're going to wrap up the show now. But just want to say some of the bullshit that fucking is out there. My sister sent me a couple things that happened. The Go Bald for Black Lives Matter challenge, where white women were shaving off their heads and having it as a post or whatever on Instagram. Come to find out, that was fake.
Oh, it was?
Oh, yes. There was somebody that actually did it, but most of the posts that were put online were fake accounts, and people were using other pictures that they found somewhere and posting on it. One thing that was partially true is the George Floyd challenge. That's where kids were mocking the death of George Floyd, putting their knee on each other's necks and posting it online. It didn't garnish that much attraction or repetition, but there were several people who actually did it, and 3 teens were arrested for a hate crime for doing such.
Good.
Yeah. Also, there's another bullshit thing where Instagram influencers were donning blackface to support Black Lives Matter. So I researched this, and yeah, that's really the shit. And some people doubled down, was like, hey, this is how I'm supporting. This is what I'm going to do. Show that fucking picture again.
No, you don't.
This is fucking people just don't fucking know. People are
They don't
stupid.
get it.
People just don't fucking get it.
They don't get it.
People don't get it.
Wow.
Also, I want to just touch base that Jimmy Fallon also had to apologize because some shit that he did back in 2000 on Saturday Night Live sketch where he was in blackface acting as Chris Rock on Saturday Night Live. I have mixed feelings about that. You know, it wasn't malicious.
It wasn't malicious. He was trying. Was he portraying Chris
Yeah,
Rock?
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
he was-
can say so.
yeah.
You have Jimmy Fallon trying to be Chris Rock as a white man. So I can see both ways of that.
I can see both ways. Right now is very sensitive, so I'm not gonna hate people getting mad about it. But I've seen the whole movie White Chicks is
Yes!
that's a
different. Does that count? Because it's different. And you gotta think what
dude, a lot of the famous people have played white people. You know,
Eddie Murphy did it.
Eddie Murphy
'Cause he did it
on Saturday Night Live, as a matter of fact. But we're not talking about that right now. We're not talking about that right now. But like I said, I'm mixed feelings on that one. Just want to point that out because that's one of the people that I do watch. So I want to point that out. One thing, finish this show off. Oh, just found this out prior to you getting over here. There's gonna be a Black Bachelor.
Oh yeah.
The Matt James first Black Bachelor since the start of the series. There's been 24 seasons of The Bachelor. There's been 15 seasons of The Bachelorette. So that's 39 seasons of the two combined. There's only been one black lead, and that's Rachel Lindsay. She how's a motherfucker. Besides, she got a gap, you know, in the front teeth. Look at front teeth. She got, but she cute. But Matt James is gonna be the first Bachelor that's black. So
I mean, white girls they gonna have with him.
I don't know. They're gonna have a mix. It's probably gonna be more diverse than what it usually is. I bet you it is because
He did with her.
I'm talking about the selection that he's gonna have to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're gonna be more diverse than when it's the white dude
But still,
as the
when
Bachelor.
They had her selection wasn't. It was diverse, but still.
It was more diverse than when it was a white chick though. Yeah. So, and plus, since they are doing this, I think they're trying to show how diverse they can be. So they're gonna be going overboard.
See, if I was to do it, I would have not one white woman, because you gotta think, this is The Bachelor. Not all black men like white women.
Hey, exactly.
So,
but some do.
Some do.
Some do. So what about? And plus, what we're trying to do is do an inclusive. So say, have some. Not only black, not only white, but have some Latinas, Asians.
Man, the mixes are. I wonder who picks these casts for these people.
Come on, damn, I fucked it up. There we go. We that. But anyways, what is it? Big pun. I don't discriminate. I regulate every shade of that. That's what it should be. So some of the things that I've been watching have been Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer that's on TNT is based off the movie Snowpiercer that you can see on Netflix, I think it is. Not that great of a movie, but they made a TV show. Not that great of a TV show. Daveed Diggs is in it. Daveed Diggs is the brother on Rainbow's brother on Blackish, and was one of the Hamilton original cast of Hamilton. It's not that great. Handmaid's Tale. I started watching that. Now that's different. Elizabeth Moss, who really ain't that cute, but do the second one with a minute. The second. All right, the Samira Wiley in the middle. She was on Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah.
Poussey. Yeah, dude, I dig her as an actress. She's cool. I like her a lot.
Yes.
But Handmaid's Tale, mixed reviews. It's pretty slow, pretty lame until they start trying to get out, and then it picks up, and it's just hit and miss. But I'm the type that I have loyalty issues, so once I start it, I gotta fucking finish the shit.
Yeah,
so it's my interest is up and down, but I still chug away through it. So you may like it, you may not. At some parts, it's pretty good. And right now, it just seems like it might be because of the situation that's out in society right now, but it seems like it's trying to mirror the slavery on a way. So it's like, you can't slavery. You can't fucking do it. So that's something that makes me a little like to keep it arm's length away. It's like I think that's what you're trying to do, but I really don't know. But I still watch it. Working Moms. I took your advice. Check that out.
Love it, don't you?
That is pretty funny.
Yes.
That is pretty funny.
It is the bomb.
That's pretty funny. I dig that. Archer. I started watching Archer again. That is a cartoon that's on FX. The lead dude is just so fucking stupid, but it's funny. It works. Oh, and Pam. Pam is the most hilarious character. Pam is fucking hilarious.
Pam is the one. That's Pam.
Something I'm gonna put on the Facebook also. Lil Cousin is in a commercial. Kev's son.
They finally did one.
They released it. He did it a while ago, but they finally where he's Lil James Harden. He portrays James Harden in a commercial. I'm gonna post the commercial on Facebook. It's for a Chinese bank, but since the NBA and China had a falling out, it didn't get released. But like last week or so, they were telling them they can't like post it on social media or whatever. But now I guess things have settled. It's still not gonna be played in China because there's still problems, but they can actually release it and show it now. So I'll find it and put it on my Facebook as well. Last but not least, Thursday night, Dave Chappelle released a powerful it's not even a comedy special, but just a special talking about George Floyd and the situations going on in America right now. It's called 846. You can find it on YouTube for free. I absolutely recommend anybody to take a look at it because you think like, why are celebrities looked to fucking talk about this? But everybody listens to the celebrities. They listen to their favorite comedians because you've already sat down hours and hours and listened to their stand-up, so you're going to listen to what they have to say about things. And it just touches in a different manner. It's cool. It just gives a different perspective. Not really, but kind of. Mm-hmm. But, he's really not affected by this shit because of the amount of money, but yet he is. It's so fucking crazy in different type of ways. But it's definitely something to check out on YouTube. 846. Last but not least, I just want to bring this up. Earlier this week, I got a text from a buddy of mine. What's up, George? I watched Mad Week for the first time this morning, and I appreciate your commentary on the murder of George Floyd. I'm sorry for what's going on in the world right now. I can't imagine how it makes you feel or how it's made you feel your entire life. I remember we always used to laugh at how you were always having run-ins with the police, but now I see it differently. I remember we used to have jokes, and it goes on from there. This is a buddy of mine from college, and he goes on and just explains how just things that's going on in the world today just brought a different light to his eyes. I responded honestly to him. It's like, hey, anything that's happened to me when it came to the cops, besides that, there's two instances. The story I told you earlier, and then one time in South Padre where I was just being a dick. Whatever. But I really haven't had that many racial interactions. Like racist interactions, I guess. I guess I was one of the lucky ones. It's not that racism doesn't exist. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't. I don't go out looking for it. I don't go out like looking at possible ways that people are trying to hold me down because of my color. I see a fucking hurdle and I try to figure out how the fuck to get over it. I don't try to figure out who made this hurdle. Why is this hurdle here? I see a fucking hurdle and I try to fucking go over it. I love that he reached out to me and just told me how he felt, and I told him that, hey, yeah, I went to college with mostly white people, and yeah, my closest friends who I'm still friends with till each day, we used to have jokes, and yeah, sometimes the jokes included me being black, but when it comes to your best friends, your family, even black people talk about other black people's color, whether it's light skin or how dark you are or whatever. If that's your friends, your family, you're gonna go for the easy laugh. Just like I told them, I wasn't offended. Shit, I'd make jokes about my fucking blackness. Shit, I fucking jump on a black joke quicker, just because I can. But it's just like we make fun of like one of the linemen being fat. One of our friends was redhead, so we made jokes about that. So it wasn't out of malice. It was just to get laughs and whatnot. And I don't want people to just be afraid to say the wrong thing around black people or around anybody. Just be sensitive to the fucking shit that's going on. Don't be a fucking dick. Just because you say something doesn't automatically make it evil. But who the fuck are you? You gotta learn who the fuck you are. Do you have hatred? Do you have that type of fucking shit that in you that's gonna judge somebody negatively just because of the color of their skin? You have to think about yourself. You gotta. And that's the thing why I like that text, because he looked into himself and he made changes and just reflect upon himself and what he can do to fucking help. And this is a good guy. Great friend, will be a friend to mine to the end. So other people in this world just need to do that to themselves. What the fuck do you have in your heart? And what the fuck can you do to make people around you learn to not be such a fucking ass when it comes to race? All right. This has been a Mad Week. My sister, thank you for being behind the wheels of steel. This George I. Cortright. I'm out.